Howdy ho, everybody. I am Donuts, and I'm here with
Terrance.
I've seen all of South Park up till season 20-something. He has not seen any of it. Well, you know, he's watching blind. I actually have the dates. So, season 1 went from August 13th to August 13th, 1997 to February 25th, 1998.
Wow.
And season 2 started on April 1st, 1998.
Okay.
But yeah. Alright.
Boy, time for an April Fool's episode.
Let's get into it. The name of this episode actually would be a spoiler. It comes up in the episode.
Okay.
So, 3, 2, 1.
Since the last South Park, you've waited 4 long weeks to find out who the father of Eric Cartman is.
The longest you've ever
Now,
waited for a
finally,
season.
The shocking
4
truth
weeks.
about Cartman's lineage will not be seen tonight, so that we can bring you the following special presentation. Now, get ready for Canada's hottest action stars, Terrance and Phillip in the HBC Movie of the Week. Not without my anus, based on a true story.
Oh my god, are we doing this? Are we doing this?
Before you today sits a murderer. On the night in question, this monster entered the home of Dr. Jeffrey O'Dwyer and struck him repeatedly in the head with his hammer. That monster is sitting right over there, and his name is Terrance.
Terrance, you farted in court. Yes, Phillip, I'm making a case for our defense.
All of these things link Terrance to the murder. A day planner with the murder scheduled. A haiku called Time to Kill Dr. Jeffrey O'Dwyer. Dr. O'Dwyer, time to have your head smashed in with my new hammer. Terrance, you may be a famous surgeon, but you're not called. J'ai accuse, Terrance.
Would you like a monkey claw, Phillip? Yes, please. That's called the monkey claw because it feels like my colon is being ripped apart by 1,000 monkeys. The monkey claw is smelly.
Come on, get a move on. I ain't getting any younger up here.
Some of them have letters, some of them don't.
I see from your
What did you
accent that
say?
you're
Why do
Southern
some of them
Canadian.
have letters on them
That
and
is
others
correct.
don't?
Good people of the
Oh.
jury. My client,
Don't
Terrance,
know.
is an innocent
I mean,
man.
all the jury has J's on them.
Oh, Phillip! Find Terrance innocent, or else he'll kill you. Just kidding. The defense rests.
God damn it, that isn't funny. Madam,
We have found Terrance in the above entitled action of murder against Dr. Jeffrey O'Dwyer.
you're gonna have to repeat that verdict because we have some flatulence issues.
I said, we find Terrance not guilty! Did you hear that, Terrance? You're not guilty! Oh, Phillip, you saved me from the gas chamber!
Why does Canada have a gas chamber? I don't
Let's
know.
go home and eat craft dinner! Here, here!
Well, looks like you
accurate.
got away with it, Terrance and Phillip.
Oh, hello, Scott. No hard feelings, right, old pal?
There are hard feelings. This isn't over. I'm gonna see to it that you both pay for what you've done. And do you know why?
'Cause you're a dick?
No, because I hate you. You think farting is so funny. Well, it isn't. Fart jokes are the lowest form of comedy. And if I hate you both. I've hated you ever since I can remember. I hate you, and I wish you both had cancer.
Cancer?
Yes, in the head.
Head cancer?
This is not the end, Terrance and Phillip. You'll rue this day.
Well, Scott really hates us, Phillip. Yes, perhaps he's homophobic. But we're not gay, Phillip. We're not? Well, let's board the subway and return home. There we can eat craft dinner. Yes, it's been a long day, and only craft dinner can calm my nerves.
That was his fault.
Say, Phillip, why does Scott always try to convict me of murder? He does it every week. He sure does seem to hate us. I wonder what he'll try to do next. The subway certainly is wonderful, Terrance. It sure is. Let's look for treasure. Yes, let's look for treasure.
Hello?
Is this Scott from Canada?
Yes, yes it is.
I understand that you hate Terrance and Phillip.
Yes, I do. They think
Oh,
that
boy.
farting is a sophisticated form of comedy. But they're not.
Well, what if I were to help you get rid of them once and for all?
Who is this?
Just call me your old pal, Saddam Hussein.
Is that what you're saying?
What?
Dictator?
Hey, relax, guys.
What?
The average Joe, take a ride.
What do you want?
You want Terrance and Phillip out of Canada. I want you to bring me and my
Why
friends
does he have a
into
Canadian
Canada.
hat?
That sounds like a fair trade, doesn't it? Super, let's get started.
It's
I'm not sure I
Canadian.
should trust you.
Hey, relax, guy. Trust me.
Ugly Bob, your face looks like somebody tried to put out a forest fire with a screwdriver.
I can't help how I look.
Why don't you put this paper bag over your head, Ugly Bob?
Yes, if people can't see your face, they won't know how wretchedly ugly you are.
Nobody looks exactly like that.
Now I can score with chicks. Sure you can, Ugly Bob. If they can't see how horribly disfigured you are, they'll want to sleep with you. Thank you, guys.
Hello, Barky. Hello, Perry. Bark, bark. Brr, brr. Oh, my God. What is it, Terrance? Did you fart?
No, it's Sally. She's being held captive in Iran.
Not Sally. Dear God, no, Terrance. Why Sally? God, why? Say, Terrance, who's Sally?
My daughter.
I never knew you had a daughter, Terrance.
Oh, yes. Didn't I mention that, me hearties?
No, you never did, Terrance.
Oh, well, it all began 15 years ago.
My God, what a fascinating story, Terrance. Especially the part about Celine Dion.
Yes, indeed. But now my little Sally is being held captive in Iraq.
I can't stop staring at their heads.
Their heads are amazing.
Hello, Celine Dion.
Terrance, this is quite a surprise.
You're looking well.
Is that what she looks like?
Celine, where is our
Exactly
daughter
what she
Sally?
looks like.
She's in the Middle East, studying anthropology. Why?
Oh, the C&D are right where
She's
it
been
proves
taken
are.
hostage and is now being held prisoner.
Please bring our daughter home safe, Terrance. If I die whilst in Iran, please bring my body back to Canada and bury me in a box with a side of craft dinner.
Same here, Phillip.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. With
I guess it's just the national anthem. Why?
What?
Why?
Do you know? You just gotta break out in song. Patriotic. You telling me you don't do this every time you go to the airport?
No. What a strange joke.
Got the Red Dragon. Come in, Red Dragon.
Go ahead, guys. This is Red Dragon.
Plan is working perfectly. Terrance and Phillip have taken the bait.
Excellent. My buddies and I are ready to come to Canada. Has everything been arranged?
Yes, everything's proceeding according to plan. Now you promised that when Terrance and Phillip arrive, they'll be ripped into pieces and shot several times.
Hey, relax, guy. I'm gonna keep my side of the bargain.
Roger, Red Dragon. Scout out. I've got you now, you fight-loving fight lovers. Say, she looks a lot more like Celine Dion than you, Terrance. Ah, now I see the resemblance.
Well, enough of Iran. Let's get home.
Wait, what?
Yep.
What?
Oh my God! What is this? Is this Canada?
It seems to have changed.
What?
Terrance, could you come back a little later? Why? I'm just a little busy right now.
You've got to man over, don't you, Celine Dion?
Well,
Hi, guys.
Oh my God, it's Ugly Bob!
What the hell are you doing here? I'm
Good
doing
foreshadowing.
Celine Dion. What's it look like? Oh, Celine Dion, what have you done? I was going to make us a family again, but now you've slept with Ugly Bob.
What do you mean? Why are you calling him Ugly Bob? Because that's his name, you stupid bitch! You told me your name was Handsome Bob!
Look at him, Celine Dion.
And I'm pregnant with his child!
What? No!
I'm going to have a freak baby! Oh, the humanity!
Jesus.
You helped me get rid of Terrance and Phillip, and I appreciate that. But why are framed pictures of you going up all over Canada?
Huh? Oh, that? Don't worry, guy. You just need a rest.
No, I don't need a rest. I want to know what this is all about.
Hey, relax, fella. I'm just making it so that Terrance and Phillip can never come back to Canada again. I just need a couple of things, and then I'm gonna head back to Iran.
I thought you were from Iraq.
Iraq, what the hell's the difference? Relax, guy.
What the hell are you guys doing here? I hate you more than ever, Terrance and Phillip. I absolutely abhor you both. What are you doing, Scott? I'm wishing cancer upon you. Cancer? That's right. I'm trying to give you cancer with my mind. Hey, don't give me cancer. The U.S. government is becoming worried.
Worried? About what? Take a load out. Relax.
You seem to be taking over Canada.
Taking over Canada? Me? Hey, you need a rest, fella. I'm not hiding any bombs.
We didn't say anything about bombs.
Oh, you didn't? Hey, relax.
We're giving you just 3 years to clear your forces out of Canada. After that, we're gonna bomb all of Iran.
I'm from Iraq.
Iran, Iraq, what's the difference?
We take over Canada. Then we'll have the best of the female pop vocalists. After that, we'll take over the U.S., then Europe, then China, then Newfoundland, then the world.
Then Newfoundland.
So funny.
Nothing. Relax, buddy.
Saddam, Terrance, and Phillip are back in Canada.
Oh, really?
You promised me they'd be gone for good. That was your part of the bargain.
I changed my mind. Hooray that I don't change it any further.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Good reference.
Let's watch American television.
Yeah, we can get satellite feed from the U.S. and watch all those stupid TV shows.
Accurate.
Oh, look, here's a show.
You. No, stupid.
God damn, that TV shows are lame.
Father, their Carmen is indeed.
How does this work?
Appears that Saddam Hussein has finally signed an agreement to let the U.S.
that
inspect
said
his military
employee?
operations. When asked if he would uphold his side of the agreement,
Really?
Hussein replied, quote, "Hey, relax, Bella. You need a rest, guy."
Hey, Phillip, isn't that the smelly gentleman we've seen?
Saddam
in pictures all
Hussein's
over town?
famous quote.
Yes, it is, Terrance. According to that newsie, he's some kind of Turkish dictator. You've unleashed a monster onto Canada, and only you can get rid of him. Even though I hate you, and I wish you had cancer.
You are such a dick, Scott.
You're a dick.
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 The two of you are the most annoying dicks in Canada. You give other Canadians a bad name, and if I had my...
I'm sorry, Scott. Could you hold on a minute?
Sure.
How do you like that, Scott?
You son of a bitch. I'll get you if it's the last...
Oh, wait, I have another call, Scott. Can you hang on?
Sure.
Oh, that was Sir Smelly. He says hello.
God damn it.
Oh, wait a second, Scott.
Sure. I mean, no. You listen to me. If you want to save Canada, you'll meet me at Coast Dinner Restaurant in half an hour.
I could cure that face of yours. You could? Sure, I just need a favor. There's a Canadian football game tomorrow. The Ottawa Rough Riders against the Vancouver Rough Riders. It's at that game that I will officially turn the Canadian flag over to my Iranian one. What? Why? Hey, don't worry about that. Take a look out. Don't think about it. Look over here. All I need is for
What's it sounds like?
at the game to finalize my hostile takeover of Canada. What do you say? Did you say hostile takeover of Canada? No, relax there, fella.
I knew that this is a pretty good depiction of Saddam Hussein.
While we're waiting, why don't we search for treasure? Ah, good idea. Let's search for treasure.
What is the segment?
What are you idiots doing?
We're looking for treasure.
Is that some kind of metaphor for a kind of search that can't be described?
No, we're searching for treasure.
Listen, I have an inside scoop. There's an Iraqi dictator who is quietly and slowly taking over Canada.
Yes, you mean Saddam Smelly. We saw him on the telly. What is this?
It's a bomb. You must strap it to yourselves, go to the game, and sacrifice your lives to take out Saddam's minions.
Well, Phillip, I'm very sad that we have to die for Canada. Funny.
Wait a minute. Terrance, that fart gives me pause.
Why is that?
That smelly Saddam Hussein. He uses German chemical warfare, does he not?
Yes, apparently he does.
Terrance, get the phone book. We must call every Canadian we can.
Oh, Phillip, it sounds like you have an idea.
I do,
The fart
Terrance.
on him?
I'm the Rough Rider.
He already changed the flags.
Canada will now be known as New Baghdad. Kulukula. You will bow down to me as your ruler. You will obey my laws or you will be killed. And now you will sing the Iraqi national anthem, or you will be stabbed in the head. Stoot, malach, stoot, inka, inka, brust. Now, Phillip.
Now, Terrance.
Hey, what the hell is that? Rakastoot, kulakulakostoot.
Oh no.
They're using chemical warfare. How could they?
Why?
Terrance, you saved Canada. It was all Phillip's idea. God bless you, Phillip.
Don't touch me, ugly Bob. Hey, what the hell happened? You were supposed to be blown up. We came up with a better plan. You see, Scott, after all your criticism, it was farting that saved Canada. That is so juvenile.
Hey, Scott, do you like apples?
Of course.
How do you like them apples?
I hate you, Terrance and Phillip!
Oh no, it's so ghoulish.
How much effort they go to make it look bad.
What was that?
That was Terrance and Phillip in Not Without My Anus.
Father, find out on an all-new South Park in just a few weeks.
Again, it was supposed to be 4 weeks after this episode that the next episode aired.
Jesus.
Stunt butts. Monkey handler. It's hard to tell which these were real and which weren't.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Oh no.
Motherfucker. Okay, I just stopped that one. Okay. So we're still recording this one. But, okay. So, what would you rate that episode?
Honestly, I might give it a 10. I don't want to.
I am absolutely giving it a 10 myself.
It was very good, and there were no downshifts in comedy. It was all very much the same, and it all hit the right mark for me.
Yeah, how did you enjoy it as a Canadian? How do you enjoy this representation of Canada?
I find it very interesting what they decided was funny and what they didn't. I'm fascinated that I guess Trey and Matt are very amused by the Canadian national anthem.
I don't know if it is that they're, amused by the Canadian national anthem, or if they're just, how do I want to say this? Or if they just wanted to do the Canadian national anthem as a song, we need a song every episode sort of thing. Or if it was just a goof of doing any just doing an entire national anthem.
They do it twice.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say the second time they don't do the whole thing, but no, they do. They just keep, there's a lot more going on.
Right.
It's not just them solely singing the national anthem the entire time.
But for a an intentionally bad movie, the plot's decent.
Yeah.
We've got some good foreshadowing. They do the whole thing with the national anthem.
Yeah, it's so weird to be reminded, this is a movie. This isn't what's happening to them in real life. This is we're watching a movie. And they always just play themselves.
Also, I guess the Iraqis are Saddam's group were, I guess, meant to be played by Canadians, but then they got some real Americans for the American soldiers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because Saddam was Saddam Hussein. It was his face.
Yeah.
That was definitely not someone acting as Saddam Hussein.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was mask or something.
Maybe it's a Red Skull situation, an early, Golden Comics Red Skull. But it's just Saddam Hussein's depiction. I love it. This episode is an absolute 10 out of 10. Across the whole series for me. I fucking love it. It's very divisive, but I love this. I always remember Saddam Hussein. I find it hilarious.
And just the setup of it being, part one of the first two-parter, which is across a whole season. Or, end of one season, start of the other.
Yeah.
And throughout this episode, I kept on wondering, are they going to cut back? I don't know if this whole episode's going to be the movie or not.
Yeah. They really commit. That's all it is. At the end, they don't even do a here's who his father was as even a joke. They're no, you'll get the next episode. This is just an entire episode. It's not one of the. I've seen plenty of other shows do that where they'll do a fake episode like this, and then at the end, we don't really have a real answer. Here's the answer, but we didn't want to do a whole episode. For it. But it's no, this is just another entire episode of something else.
Also, on this, presumably, like, real movie starring two of the biggest actors in Canada, they do have a small clip of a town in Colorado, South Park, with just some guys talking about this kid's father.
Yeah.
It's televised, it's in this movie.
Well, ostensibly South Park is a real show, apparently. It's very Kamen Rider O's, you know? It's like, how is this all filmed? Who's filming this?
I mean, either it's a show, or that's, like, a documentary thing. Like, it's one of those, like, live stream cameras.
There is the narrator.
There is the narrator.
There is the narrator. It could all be being filmed by somebody. I mean, it was only that last shot right there, and that's where the narrator was in that last shot. So maybe Dr. Fuss said, hey, get the TV crew in here. What was your favorite joke of the episode?
Oh, boy. It's an embarrassment of riches. I guess. Oh, boy.
I think mine was the searching for treasure. Just, well, solely the one on the train. Where they just, out of nowhere, just go, let's search for treasure.
It feels like they're definitely the stars of a program aimed at kids, and that is a segment they do, and now they're just doing it in the movie.
Yeah. It has a very strong kids, TV show, Dora, talking to the audience vibe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. I guess it's probably just Celine Dion. Like, when we first see her, and that she's got the C and D for her boobs.
Yeah.
It's a very strange depiction of Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Like,
I love whenever they choose to, like, use a cartoony makeup like South Park face for them, or to just use the real face of the person. Like, I don't know how they choose.
Yeah. I mean, apart from Saddam, the only other time we've ever seen that, as far as I can recall, is Mr. Garrison, right?
Yeah, Mr. Garrison with the who was that? David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
I thought we saw it one other time. Maybe not. No, I'm just thinking of Barbara Streisand, which has so much detail in the face, but it's not like her. Yeah, it's not a picture of her face.
Right.
Okay. Let me get my notes for this episode.
Oh boy, I am so interested now in these notes.
So, first off, this episode had 29 separate fart jokes in the span of 22 minutes.
Yeah, I can buy it.
There was 21 farts. Terrance had 13 farts, and Phillip had 8 farts. Not counting the whole, like, giant crowd fart at the end.
Right.
This was the first episode without 3 characters. They appeared in every other episode. Because, again, we got the tiny little segment of them on TV. So, which characters, did you notice which characters weren't in this episode?
Not really, because it was such a quick flash.
Yeah.
Like, I assume definitely Kenny, because Kenny wasn't in that part of the episode last
he was
season.
dead.
Yeah. So no Kenny, no...
So, yes, first episode Kenny does not appear in.
Maybe Stan and Kyle?
No, they were in there. So, first off, what characters would you say have appeared in every episode? Like, regardless of who is on that TV, what characters do you think have appeared every single episode? Aside from the main 4.
Okay. I'd say probably Chef and Mr. Garrison.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty certain Chef. Maybe Mr. Garrison. Maybe he's been off for like an episode, though.
So yeah, this was the first episode without Kenny, Mr. Garrison, or Chef.
Hey!
You got all 3. But yeah, I was actually surprised when I was like, really? Mr. Garrison was in every episode? I guess he was, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot his, like, brief appearance in the first episode. But yeah, as I said before, this is the longest season of the show. I think it's like 18 episodes or something this season. This resulted in 2,000 email complaints, just email complaints, to Comedy Central within a week of the original broadcast.
Wow.
They pushed up the release of the next episode due to all the complaints, but it was still 3 weeks later instead of 4 weeks later.
Jeez.
Canada reported no complaints about the episode in the weeks after its release.
Yeah, fair.
No damn wrong with it. The Toronto Sun actually listed the episode as one of the most memorable moments of television in 1998.
Wow. I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't see anything I'd be offended by.
Yeah. Especially, like, being the Toronto Sun, I definitely feel like this would be, a Canadian, like, that was such a weird, one-off, random, all-Canada episode.
Yeah.
Alan Johnson of the Chicago Tribune said Comedy Central was punking out with the decision to not show the next episode to the previous episode. No, I'm sorry, the conclusion to the last episode. Would you agree? I don't see how that's punking out. I would say that's the opposite of punking out.
I think, like, in the moment it would make more sense. Because, like we're approaching this from the aspect of, we know there's going to be a part 2. Well, I guess I don't know.
Well, they said.
Yeah. I mean, they also said last time.
True. Okay. To be fair, yeah.
It's like, in the moment, it could have...
But to be fair, they also said last episode, next week, the movie, Terrance and Phillip, Not Without My Anus, in the episode. They didn't lie.
Oh, boy. But yeah, like, if I were watching this as a new show, and I thought, oh, well, they did this big cliffhanger, everyone's talking about it, and they're not resolving it. Like, I could see that as them punking out, if I don't know if they're actually going to resolve it.
Sure. Okay. I guess. But still, I don't... I mean, I guess. I wouldn't consider that punking out. Like, punking out feels rebellious, not like, doing the... I don't know. Well, then I guess this would be punking out, doing the rebellious. I guess I would agree then. But a New York City journalist said that fans rioted, some jumped ship and never came back. The lesson: pay off our expectations or you'll be sorry. I love that is a journalist. It's so... It sounds like a 13-year-old threatening me on Xbox.
Yeah.
You'll be sorry.
I mean, I still hear that, like, every anime season. Someone saying, like, oh boy, this show didn't do what I wanted. They'll be sorry.
Yeah, it's such a toxic, mentality to have of, like, this show didn't do exactly what I wanted. But now they'll learn because everybody else will hate it too.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like it, that's fine, but to be like, oh, you ruined the show because you didn't do the thing that I expected.
Right.
The Gazette said in May 1998, the South Park phenomenon was dead, which is around right before this episode came out. Or sorry, right after this episode. Yeah, because this came out April 1st. So, I guess, this would have been between the next episode, I guess. The Gazette says that the South Park phenomenon was dead and described the April Fool's prank as lamentable and part of the reason for the show's decline. Which, definitely not the case anymore. North Carolina journalist said it was a funny, clever move that quickly separated the fans who truly got Stone and Parker's humor from those who were just watching for the dirty jokes. And I would agree with that, and they have both agreed sort of in themselves too, of like, this episode was a pretty decisive point in South Park. After this episode, they did get way less ratings.
Okay.
It was a bold, risky move.
Right.
But it allows, like, after that point, they had a very consistent fan base.
Okay.
As I was saying before, everybody in season 1 was every single episode, this is the best thing in television, this is amazing. But, like, everyone was just on the hype train.
Right.
And they were like, it's gonna wear off at some point. And like they were even surprised with all the stuff in season 1. We're like, oh, this is a bad episode. This is a shitty ending. And it's like everybody ate it up. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
And they put out this, and everybody's like, you betrayed our expectations. How dare you? An Australian journalist said, it is gratifying in an entertainment world dominated by market research and common denominators to see a program that obviously doesn't care if you like it or not.
Yeah.
Especially for the time in which this is coming out, the time of advertiser hell, the time of all that shit. And especially with, it's sort of like the opposite of what Netflix is doing, though. Like, just putting out anything at all.
Right.
Like, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I think it really boils down to more, I would prefer it if a show would do it, I would less prefer it if a thing making shows is doing that.
Okay.
I would want it to be, I want more of one thing.
Okay.
So the Australian journalist also said that the characterization of Terrance and Phillip was too thin to be particularly funny, and added that the novelty of the prank would be lost in later years. Do you think that this has, held up the stand of time?
I do think it's different now, just because of how much South Park there is.
Yeah.
It's not a shaky, risky feel anymore, because we're like, it did well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I do think that overall, the episode definitely holds up, and I do think the concept of it, in the moment, it worked for me. I thought it was very funny because I had the context.
Yeah, that's more what I was going for. Did the prank work for you? Does it still hold up as a prank? Not was it a good decision to run the show or anything like that,
Right.
but did it hold up as a prank joke episode?
Yeah, I think it's fine as a prank joke episode, and I do think, while Terrance and Phillip are very flats, a part of the comedy in this episode was the fact that they did have weird moments of not being flats.
Yeah.
The part where Philip's like, wait, aren't we gay?
Yeah. We're not gay. Wait, we're not? Oh, that's great.
A big part of the comedy in this episode is that we don't know anything about Terrance and Phillip.
Yeah.
So they just do stuff and it's I guess that's part of their character.
Yeah, it is... I don't want to say this way because it sounds bad, but I do think it is random humor, but in the best way. Not in the sense they'll just do random stuff, but they can do anything random, and that's just a part of the canon of that character.
Yeah.
And they just throw anything and everything out there, and that's just canon. And they stick with it going forward.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of random humor is just random all over the place, anything.
I guess that's the thing. If we got an episode like this in season 13, and they're still doing completely random new things, it would feel really tired.
Exactly. Yeah. It's slowly incorporating more things into it. As the episodes are going on, Phillip has become more of the what is it? The Sukomi?
Yeah.
Sort of. Before they were both just kind of going back and forth, whereas now they're sort of fallen into a sort of Sukomi-Boke relationship.
Yeah.
The straight man, gay
Funny
man
man.
comedy, I guess. Straight man, funny man. I mean, I guess it doesn't really work. No, because Phillip would be the straight man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I do think that, their personalities are very flat and everything like that. But I think that is what makes it funny.
Right.
Every other character is, driving this narrative, and they're just responding to it in this very nonsensical, just goofy way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I just, for myself also, I think the prank is definitely, I mean, not as a prank, but the episode has definitely held up.
Okay.
The novelty of the prank, has it worn off? I mean, sure, if I were to watch it again, on a repeat viewing, any prank is going to wear off.
Yeah.
So as a prank, it's not going to hold up, but definitely as an episode, I think it did, for sure. Still a 10 out of 10 for me. This episode aired only once.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it has aired, maybe they've aired it again recently in terms of a re what am I trying to say
just re-airing it.
yeah re-air marathon. That's what I was going for.
Okay.
Maybe it ran in a marathon or something. Pretty recent. But as far as I know, even when they ran marathons for years and years after this, they have never aired the episode again.
Okay.
So they aired only once. It was released on VHS actually, 1999, as just a standalone episode, by the studios.
Okay.
And so that was circulated around a lot. It was basically there was enough interest in this episode by itself for people that wanted to watch it without South Park. They were they don't want to buy a whole South Park season thing.
Yeah.
But they're interested in, what was that thing I heard about of some season or some show that did this blah 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 thing. It was, and it's just a very, even for South Park, it's so standalone.
Yeah, it really is.
This episode actually did not air in the UK right away. The first episode of season 2 in the UK is the next episode.
Okay.
And this aired as the finale.
Oh, that's a big brick joke then.
Yeah. There's also a couple countries where they just never aired it. They just saw it and said, no, we're not running that.
I can understand that.
But, yeah, okay, that's all my notes I have for this. What were the themes of this episode? What are the themes of this episode? I mean, we talked about the Saddam Hussein stuff a bit. That's not much of the themes, though.
It's very on the nose.
Yeah, it's extremely on the nose. And I think it's less, again, it's less than tackling something, and it's just funny. It's just Saddam doing the, there's nothing going on here, look away, look away. But yeah, fantastic episode. I don't think we're gonna have much to say about it. We've talked about it plenty. I just love that they did set it up last episode on the TV of like, tune in next week for blah, blah, blah. All right, well, we will see you guys next week for season 2, episode 2. Cartman's mom is still a dirty slut.
Oh boy.
See you for that. Get the fuck out of here.